Hey, welcome back. So we're on scenario 2 of the Battlefield Duel. This is the Muddy Heath. And so we've got everybody set up where they're going to be dueling. However, before the game gets started, we have two knights who have earned a name. So this gentleman of the Beastmen is Great Chin the Indomitable. So he's rolled impervious one time in a single scene. He also just performed really well last game. And then this gentleman, he was the last of the Chaos Knights. He did run away last game, but he is named Gore the Brawler. He successfully won a clash clash defense while outnumbered 3-1. So these are our two named guys, and then we're gonna jump into the Muddy Heath from Battlefield Duel scenario number 2. All right, so back with round 1. So we've got all of our movement done. We've dropped a lot of dice down just because none of the beastmen really want to bash because it's going to make somebody move. And really, with the difficult terrain, movement is super tough. And besides, in this scenario, you can only damage your dueling partner. So it's not like we're going to be able to team up. For bonuses later in the game, I'm sure that'll be wonderful. But it's going to be super difficult. And so very attack oriented. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 light attacks. However, the Beastmen do have the initiative, so they are going to be going first. So they're going to spend the first dice to make an attack, and it would be silly to not go ahead and use the Great Chin. So the Great Chin is going to spend his momentum to get a +1 for this light attack. Gore is going to block with his shield, so it's going to be +1 against +1. Well, that didn't turn out very well. So it's going to be 2 against 3. So he will get a successful clash defense. So he will gain a momentum. Well, the Gore is going to automatically attack back because why not? He's going to spend that momentum. And he's going to attack. Great Chin is going to try to dodge. He has medium armor, so that will give him a +1 to his dodge. So it's going to be a +1 against a +1. Which Great Chin does. He gets the dodge off, 5-3. Now this is where I think it's interesting. So he's allowed to move 1 inch, but he doesn't want to. So he just kind of like shifted his shoulder, tucked a little bit, bobbed and weaved, I don't know, you know what I mean? But he didn't get hit, so that's the important point. Going back, Great Chin doesn't really want to drop another attack because he wants to get those heavy attacks. So we're actually going to move into this unnamed heavy armored fighter down here. He's going to spend his momentum, gain a +1. He doesn't have a shield, so he's just going to parry. So it's going to be +1 to nothing. Oh, my dice didn't come out. Oh, wow. There we go. 2-2. So he's going to get that +1. Still, either way, he would win ties. So he's going to get that off. Let's see what happens to the armor. Oh, pierced. Well, good thing it was only a light melee attack, so he's down on 1 wound. All right, so then we're going back to the Chaos Knights. They're going to spin another light attack. This gentleman, he's just going to try to wear this guy out, so we're going to spin that momentum, get a +1. He's going to try to dodge, so it's going to be +1 to +1. Can't see. Oh, yeah. So he does dodge successfully. So no damage. He will get a momentum for successful clash defense, as will Great Chin over here. I forgot to add that. So, we're going to go, and they're going to drop down to a heavy melee. I think that's the wisest decision here. So we're going to spend another light attack because now we're going to get lots of attacks unanswered from the Chaos Knights. So we're going to just try to get this guy in before he dies. So he's going to attack. He's not going to get any pluses. which, by the way, he won the clash earlier, so he'll get a momentum. So we're going to be going, he's going to parry, so it's just going to be a dead roll. Oh, wow. So he's going to, he is going to win that roll, gain another momentum. This guy, we're just going to go right after him. No, let's use Gore. Gore he's going to attack. So he's not going to get any pluses. We are going to dodge. So we're going to get a +1 to our dodge because of medium armor. Which, this is going to be a 5-3. Beastmen are on fire this game. So he's going to dodge, successfully win that clash defense. He's going to go up to 2 momentum. They're going to drop another attack. Gore is mad. He's going to go furious. He's going to attack again. Oh, yeah. That time it actually works out. So he's got a 6 against the 5 for the dodge because he gets +1 for medium armor. So he's going to take... oh, no, wait a minute. Wrong way. So he is going to succeed in his dodge. Yeah. So another dodge successful. He's weaving with the best of them, bobbing and weaving with the best of them. I tell you what, they're going to drop these down, and we're going to make them heavy attacks now because they need to get serious. Okay, so now we're on to initiative step 1. The Beastmen are going first. We're going to go ahead and use the Great Chin, the Indomitable Warrior. He's going to use all of his momentum. And so now he's going to be at a +4. 3 for the momentum, 1 for the Great Axe. Since it's a heavy melee attack. He's going to have a +1 to his block because of the shield. So it's going to be a +4 to a +1. And, oh, that worked out really well. So, well, for Great Chin it did. For Gore, not so much. So Gore is going to be rolling on the armor defense. Oh, look at that. He is now indomitable as well. He is the Gore, the brawling, indomitable one. There's going to be a Sir in his name soon, I feel. So that's nice. All right, so then we're going over to the Chaos Warriors. Gore is he's gonna attack back. So he did get a, no, he didn't. Oh yeah, sorry. So Great Chin, because he won the clash, he will get a momentum. He didn't win the clash, but his armor held, so that's great. So Gore is going to attack back with a +2 because he has a ruby ring, so it's going to give him +1 to a heavy melee, and then he also has a hand axe, which gives him another +1 to a heavy melee. So this is going to be a 5. He gets a +1 for his dodge, so it's going to be a 3. So 5-3, it will go through. Now I will say Great Chin does have the cuirass, so he is re-rolling 1s and 2s on the armor tables, which is good because he has medium armor, which means 1s or 2s are pierced. He gets a 5, so he takes damage as normal, so he is down to 1 wound. We have 1 more heavy attack. At this point, we're just going to try. Gore he's frustrated. He's just going to try to kill him. So Gore will have 1 momentum from his successful attack. He will use it. So now he will get a +3 to his +1 for dodging. Oh, so that's great. So he gets a +1, so he's a 6. He gets a +3, so he's a 5. Great Chin has continued to live up to his name, and he's bobbing, weaving, taking him on the chin. He's sticking in there. Super tough. All right. So that's going to be the end of turn 1. Turn 2. All right, so on to turn 2. So the Beastmen got 2 6s, so they're going to be going first. However, the Chaos Warriors rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s, so they're definitely set up for lots of melee attacks. The question is do I try to get more guys into base contact knowing that the Chaos Knights are going to have more attacks? I think at this point we just start dropping dice down so we get equal number of attacks without, because we already have 4 guys in base contact. So we're going to be dropping both of our 6s down to 5s, and green Chaos Warriors don't have any 5s, so we're going to drop both of our 5s down to 4s. Now this is where I got to think. So if we did bash, which the bash is pushing them 3 inches, so maybe 1.5 inches in difficult terrain, it would stop them from being able to get. Nah, I mean, really, it would only be a big deal as if they had momentum. But none of the Chaos Knights have momentum right now. And so we're just going to drop all of those 4s down to 3s. Now again, they get to go first. The Beastmen get to go first, so they're going to drop all of their 3, or they're going to drop a 3 down to a 2, because the Chaos Warriors do have a 3, which they get to lunge. However, I believe this gentleman is the only one who is within 1 inch. He was supposed to be within 2 inches, but I didn't set him up that way, so we're just going to play it that way. So he's going to lunge. He's not going to gain a momentum, but now he is going to be in contact for a lot of these attacks. And then we're going to drop the rest of our 3s down to 2s for the Beastmen. All right, so now we have just a buttload of attacks, which I've been told a buttload is 126 gallons. Don't really know about that, but fun fact. So now Beastmen have the initiative, so they're going to be going first. So we're going to spend our first attack dice, and we're going to start with this gentleman, just try to get him out of here. DEAD Chelios. So he's going to be spending both of his momentum. So it's going to be a +2 to nothing because he is going to parry, which works out well. So it's going to be a 5 to a 1. Let's see what he rolls on the armor table. He rolls a 2, so he takes damage as normal. It is a light melee, so it's only going to be 1 damage. However, he only has 1 left, so he dead. Dead. Which means the purple team will gain another initiative dice next round to roll, which is great. He will gain an initiative, or 2 initiative, 1 for successful clash, 1 for killing. However, he may be able to get somewhere to give somebody bonuses next round, but that's pretty much the end of the fight for him. On to the Chaos Warriors. So we're going to start with Gore. It'd be silly not to. Gore is going to just light melee attack into Great Chen. Look at that. Look at Great Chen. He is just bobbing and weaving, taking it on the chin. He's tough. I love it. All right, so Great Chen is going to attack back. Light melee attack. He's not going to get it. Well, let's go ahead and drop a momentum. No, because he's got 2 momentum now. So because he successfully defended himself, we are going to spend 1 of them. We'll spend 1 of them. Nah, let's spend them both. We're going to spend them both to get a +2 to our light melee attack. Gore is going to be at a +1 to block for his shield. So it's going to be a +2 to a +1. So +2 is going to be 3. +1 is going to be 3. Attackers win. Ties. So it is going to go through. Let's see what his armor does. Holds up as normal, so he's going to take 1 damage. So he's going to be on 2. All right. So now we're going to go back. Gore is going to continue to try to... He's going to get Great Chen out of here this time. He is determined. He doesn't have any momentum, so it's just going to be straight attack. He's going to try to dodge. Now he has medium armor, so it's going to give him a +1. So it's going to be +0 to a +1. Oh, perfect clash. Look at that. Perfect clash. So they're attacking again. I hope... I don't know. Let's see what happens. So again, +1 to nothing. Oh, look at that. Great Chen. Great Chen is amazing. So it's going to be 6 to 1. He's just missing. Gore is swinging like a barbarian, and Great Chen's just bobbing, weaving like a boxer, and Gore can't land a shot. It's terrible. Great Chin. We're not going to... Yeah, Great Chin needs to get him out of here. So let's go ahead and drop another light attack onto him. Not going to get any pluses. Or no, wait a minute. He would have gained a momentum for a successful defense. So we're going to drop it. Get a +1. +1 to +1. Whew. Well, that worked out for Gore, the indomitable brawler, which is nice for Gore. Not so great for Great Chin. All right, so now we're going to move on. Gore is going to get him out of here. He's determined. So he did win that defense, so he will spend his momentum to get a +1. This is going to be a +1 to a +1 because Great Chin is going to be dodging. Look at that. Holy cow. Great Chin is just rolling sixes like a madman. So he gets that defense, wins the clash for defense, gains a momentum. I'm starting to think that Gore is not going to get Great Chin out of here. Great Chin is going to attack back. He is going to use a light attack because we're still on initiative step 2. All right, so he will use this to get his +1, so it'd be +1 against +1 because he's blocking with shield. Oh, man, still nothing. So it's going to be 6 to 5. So Gore will gain another momentum. Gore's starting to wonder, maybe we should go with heavy attacks. So Gore is going to drop a 2 down to a 1. We're also going to drop a 2 down to a 1. And then they're going to drop a 2 down to a 1, and we're going to drop a 2 down to a 1. So now it's 3 1s. However, Beastmen get to go first because they had more 6s. So they're going to spend their first heavy melee attack, and that's going to be the Great Chin. He is going to attack. He is going to get a +1 for his heavy axe. And he's going to be attacking Gore, and Gore's going to get a +1 for his block. This is where it is important, and I've been doing this wrong the whole time, which I'm sure that would change things. Because on the Great Axe, defenders without momentum can't gain that +1 to their block defense. So that would have probably changed the game a lot. Gore would probably already be dead, but you never. But now we're gonna make sure we remember that now. So that momentum is pretty important, so he can get that +1 against Gore's Great Chin's Great Axe. So it's gonna be +1 to +1. That worked out perfectly for Gore. So he's now going to gain another momentum for a successful defense. And Gore is he's going to endeavor to get Great Chin out of here. I'm going to spend a heavy melee attack now. He has the ruby ring, so he's going to get +1 to his heavy melee. He does have a hand axe, so he's going to get another +1. So it's going to be +2 to a +1 to dodge. So +2 to +1. Oh, I think Great Chin's time is about up. So +2 to a +1. He's going to win that. Let's see what his armor does. Let's pray to the dark gods for a 6. Nope. So Great Chin has finally met his demise. He has lost this fight. He is dead. Which means that the Chaos Warriors will gain another initiative dice for having an enemy slain. All right, so continuing with our heavy attacks, I've got 2 guys who are interlocked. He has a Great Axe. He doesn't have any momentum, so he's not going to get to use his shield for the block defense. So we are going to spend this momentum, and that'll put us at a +2 to his melee attack, since it's a heavy melee. So +2 to nothing. Well, that couldn't have gone any better. Not at all. So it's going to be 4 to a 6. Nothing happens. However, he's angry, and so he's going to attack back. He is going to get a +1 to his heavy melee because he has a hand axe. He's going to be trying to dodge. So he's going to get a +1 to his dodge because he has medium armor. So it's going +1 to a +1. Didn't work out for the Beastman. It's going to be a 5 to a 4. See what his armor does. His armor is impervious. Oh, so he's indomitable as well. There's a lot of this indomitable stuff going around, which I kind of love it. So he's probably going to be getting a name. So he's going to attack back with a heavy attack. He will have gained a momentum for a successful clash defense. So we're going to spin that. And we're going to gain +2, 1 for the great axe, 1 for the momentum against his, which he did have successful, so he will have a momentum. Even though he can't spin it on the defense, because it's a great axe, he needs that momentum to be able to use the +1 to his block. So it's going to be a +2 to a +1, which is perfect. So it's going to be an 8 to a 6. So see what his armor does. His armor takes damage as normal, so he's down to 1 wound. And he will gain a momentum for the successful clash attack. I think what we're going to try to do at this point is attack back with him before he dies. See if I can't get him out of here. Maybe he's a lost cause at this point. And we're going to use this gentleman over here, see if we can't get the jump on him. So he doesn't have any momentum, but he does get a +1 for his Great Maul. So he's going to be attacking here. He's going to get a +1 because he's going to dodge. He's in medium armor. So it's going to be +1s. Well, that's going to work out well for our Chaos Knight. Let's see what his armor does. Rolls a 5. So his damage is normal. So he's going to be down to 1 wound. And that is going to be the end of turn 2. Turn 3. Beastmen rolled 4 6s. Chaos Warriors rolled 1 6. So Beastmen are going to be going first. We're going to use... Now, I've only got 1 guy who is not in contact. And to be honest, kind of okay with it right now because I've got 3 guys that are. And so they are going to need to focus on the attacks. So we're actually going to drop this down to a 5. These guys, however, are going to want to get into it. So he's going to move forward, make his charge. He's going to get 2 momentum. So now we're going to have... Yeah, we're going to have everybody drop... Well, we're going to have the Beastmen drop all of their 6s down to 5s. The Chaos Warriors rolled 2 5s. Beastmen are going first, though, so they're going to drop another 5 down to a 4. These gentlemen are going to drop 5s down to 4s. So we're really just dropping down to 4s this whole turn. When we get down to 4s, Beastmen are going to go first. We're actually going to try with this gentleman over here, this unnamed light armored shield bearing Beastman is going to try to bash. He's not going to get any pluses. So it's just going to be a straight roll, a bash. He's going to try to parry. It is going to go off, which is nice. So it's going to push him an inch, at least an inch away, which is going to be nice because it gives me a momentum, and it stops him from attacking this guy and lets me focus on the other gentlemen who are in base contact. As far as that goes, losing momentum is kind of a big deal. So he's going to try to bash him. He does get a +1 to dodge. So let's see. So he didn't use any momentum. So it's just a 3. he does get a +1 to dodge the bash. So +4, or 4 to 3. He wins that clash. So he's actually, instead of losing his momentum and being pushed, he's going to gain 2 momentum. They're done with that. So dropping all of our 4s for everybody down to 3s. So we'll be on to initiative step 3, which the Beastmen are going to go first because they won the initiative roll-off with the number of 6s that they rolled. So down to 3s, again, not a lot of movement needs to be done. So I do believe they're going to start by dropping their 3s down to 2s, the Beastmen will. However, there is a Chaos Warrior. He does want to get in. So he's going to move to engage. Now, it is difficult terrain, so that 2-inch move can only be 1 inch, but that's fine. And then everyone is going to drop down to 2s at this point because no one really needs to move. Again, and part of that is because you can only, in this scenario, Battlefield Duel, the Muddy Heath, you can only damage or wound the gentleman who's there. Oh, and I just forgot, they all have 4 wounds this game. I haven't been playing it that way, so I'm just going to continue to play it with 3 wounds because I'm forgetful, and that happens. All right, so we're on to initiative step 2. Attacking with this gentleman who is indomitable, but we'll get a name probably after this game. He's going to start with a light attack. He is going to put both momentum into it. Again, he is using a great axe, and so if this gentleman didn't have a momentum, he wouldn't be able to get the +1 to block with his shield. So he's getting a +1 to block, even though he's not using that. You can't use the momentum for defense, but it's more because of his weapon. So he's going to get a +2 to a +1. 5 to a 3, so that is going to go off, so it'll be a 4 to a 7. It is going to go off. See what his armor does. His armor does. Oh, look at that. So he's indomitable as well. Nothing. Does nothing. Dinks off his armor. Puny great axe. All right. So on to the Chaos Warriors. Gentleman over here with the Great Maul, he's going to attack. He's down to 1 wound, so he's going to get a +1 for his dodge. He's not going to get any pluses. So it's going to be a +0 to +1, which is good for the Beastman because that's going to become a 5. So it's a 5 to a 4. So winning the defense clash is going to give him another momentum. So he's survivable. On to light attacks for the Beastman. He's going to attack him. 2 indomitable warriors battling it out. Great axe to hand axe, shield, and 4. It's going to be good stuff. All right, so he's attacking. He doesn't have anything to attack, any bonuses other than that. He doesn't have any bonuses. He's going to get a +1. So it's going to be 0 to +1, which is going to work out anyway. So it's going to be a 2 to a 5. Let's see what his armor does. Regular damage. He only had 1 wound left. He's gone. He is DE80 Chilios. Not gruesomely slain, but definitely slain. Getting him 2 momentum. And which will also gain them another initiative dice. All right, continuing on to step 2, and the Chaos Warriors, he's going to spend that 2 over here, and he's gonna lay him out and finish him off. He's not getting any pluses. He is going to get a +1 dodge because of his medium armor, which is natural 6 to 6. He's winning ties, so he's dead. Or let's see what his armor does. Oh my gosh, look at that. He is indomitable as well. His armor holds. Love it. Love it. So he does get a momentum for winning the clash. However, he's hanging in there. Hanging in there. He's not giving up. So dropping another light melee attack. Oh no, hold on. So now we don't, Chaos Warriors don't have any light melee attacks, and I know the Beastmen are going first. So the Beastmen are going to drop all their 2s down to 1s, and that's going to put us on initiative step 1, and the Beastmen are going first. So that's going to give us 5 light attacks to their 3 light attacks, and we get to go first. So first light attack, or first heavy melee attack, we're going to start here and drop this into him. We're going to use both for momentum, which is going to give us a +3, 1 for the hand or 1 for the great axe, 2 for the momentum, +3 to nothing because he's parrying. And that is great. 6 to 2, which would have made this 9 to 2. See what happens on the armor. 5, so it's just normal damage, which is going to leave him on 1 wound because I forgot about the 4 wounds, so I'm just going to keep it 3 wounds. He will get to attack back. Oh, he's going to gain a momentum for a successful attack. He's going to attack back. Heavy melee attack, +1 for them all. +1 for his spent momentum, so he's going to be a +2 to his +1 for dodging. So +1, +2, he wins ties. See what his armor does. Oh, look at that. Indomitable again. This guy he is something else. All right, so we're going to go back to him. He is going to take his winning streak and run with it. So this guy will have gained a momentum. He's going to spend that momentum to get a +2 to his nothing. And it's going to go off. So that's going to be a 5 to a 1. See what happens on the armor table. Damage as normal, which at this point is 2 damage. So he's just dead, gone. Which is going to give them another initiative dice. They are gaining serious momentum in this game. All right, so now we're going over back to the Chaos Warriors. We've got it is dangerous now because they're engaging the warriors in light armor. I don't like their odds, but we'll see what happens. So start over here. We have a hammer, which is going to give him, I forget what does a hammer do. This is where it's fun to have these wonderful sheets. So successful light melee. So he doesn't get a plus. So that's tough. He is going to get a +1 to block because of his shield. So it's going to be nothing to +1. So it's going to be a 5 to a 2. He's going to be fine. He's going to gain a momentum because of his successful clash defense. He's going to attack back with his heavy melee attack. He has a hand axe, so he's going to get a +1 to that. He's going to spend his momentum to get a +2 to his +1 for his shield. Which, look at that. That's wonderful. This is a good dice. So let's roll on the armor table for him. 5, so he takes damage as normal, which is going to be 2 damage. So he's going to be down to 1 wound. And of course, he's going to gain a momentum for his successful attack. Well, that didn't work out well for him, but we're still going to give it a go. See if I can't get him out of there. So heavy melee attack. He's not gaining a plus. So it's going to be a +1 for his shield. So nothing to +1. Which is nothing's going to happen there. So it's going to be a 5 to a 1. Not going to go off. He's going to gain another momentum. So he's up to 2 momentum. Because of successful defense. This dude is also on fire. Man, loving him. All right. So now, because of all the kills, Beastmen still have 2 1s left, which is just great. So he's going to use a heavy melee into him, try to finish him off. He is going to get a +1 for his hand axe. He's also going to get +2 because he's going to spend all of his momentum. So it's going to be a +3 to a +1 because he's blocking. He has a shield. No, this is interesting. So it's going to be a 6 to a 7. Nothing happens. So he's going to gain a momentum. And little unnamed dude's not excited about that. He had his chance. We're going to go over to this gentleman. He also has a hand axe. We're going to use our last heavy melee in this round. And we're going to spend our momentum to gain a +2. So 1 for the hand axe, 1 for the momentum. He is parrying, so it's +2 to nothing, which is great. I needed that +2, so that gives that a 6 to a 5. So let's see what happens on the armor table. I was really hoping for a 1. But it's 3, so his damage is normal, so he is going to be down to 1 wound. And that's going to be the end of the round. Round 4, last round. All right, so the Chaos Warriors actually got the only 6, so they have initiative. They will be going first. So we're going to not spend that 6 because we don't need it. They just drop it down to a 5. So on to step 5. Let's see. So he can engage him, which he's going to do. Even though he can't attack, it will now give this guy a +1 to his attacks. Make it a little easier for him to kill him. And that's going to be his 5. The Beastmen are going to drop all of their 5s down to 4s. Chaos Warriors are going to drop their 5 down to a 4. Bashing at this point for the Chaos Warriors is not going to be beneficial. So they're going to drop their 4s down to 3s, if I can find a 3. He is going to try to bash. It is going to be beneficial for him to get him away from him. So now the special rules say that he can't do damage to him, but it doesn't say anything about bashing. So he's going to try to bash him. He's not getting any advantages, and not getting any pluses. However, that guy is only going to get a +1 for his defense because of the block. So, the bash does go off, 6 to 2. So it's going to move him back an inch, or 1.5 inches. You know, it's in there. So that was beneficial. They're going to drop their 4 down to a 3, and now they're also going to drop all of their 4s down to 3s. Nobody's needs to step. It just doesn't need to happen. They need to focus on attack. So they're dropping down to a 2. They're dropping down to a 2. Basically, everyone's going to be dropping down to 2s, which Beastmen are now going to have copious amounts of 2s. They don't have any. They didn't roll any 1s, but I imagine we're going to get there. Chaos Warriors have the initiative, so we're going to start over here. See if he can't get in. Light melee attack. He is going to spend his momentum to get a +1 against his +1 for a block because he has a shield. Man, it's not going to nothing. So it's going to be a plus. So it's going to be 2 to a 5. These guys are just throwing up those shields, making them work. All right, so light melee attack back. He's not getting any advantages, so it's just going to be a nothing to a +1. Which, again, that doesn't go off. Oh. So they're both going to gain momentum because now they both successfully defended a clash. Back to them. At this point, I think we need to drop to heavy melee attacks because I'm not going to piece them out. I don't have enough dice. So they're going to try another light melee attack, the Beastmen are. He's going to try light melee attack him again. He is going to spend a momentum to get a +1. So it's going to be +1 to a +1 because he has a shield and he's blocking. Oh, drop my dice. Well, that goes off. So be a 7 to a 3. See what happens on the armor table. 2 regular damage, which is going to drop him out. So he's going to gain a momentum for killing and a momentum for winning a clash. It does look like this last guy is going to be, he's going to have to attack. That's all there is to it. He is going to spend his 2 momentum. So he's going to be getting a +2 for a light melee attack. He's going to get a +1 to dodge. +2 to a +1. That does go off. So let's see what happens on the armor table. A 3. Oh no, it's because he has light armor, so a 3 is pierced. So he's going to get extra damage, but it's a light melee attack, so it's only 2 damage. So he's on to 1 damage left. That could have gone better. Now, this is where it's interesting. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks left. All of them are light attacks. So I'm not going to be gaining any pluses, but I think we just weight of numbers. So light melee attack from him to him. So it's going to be a 4 to a 2, which he is going to continue to just parry. That is going to go through. See what happens on the armor table. Got a 5. Damage is normal. Boom. He is dead. That is a rousing victory for the Beastman. Rousing victory. The only thing that sucks is Great Chen, you have died. You know, maybe they'll heal you in camp. I don't know. We'll see. Game turned out really well. Again, Gore. Gore is the only Chaos Warrior to survive. He is destined for greatness. He shall become a Chaos Champion. All right, thanks.